day to celebrate for Jake Browning and the Bengals. Mike Petraglia inside Paycor Stadium. Here on Sunday, the Bengals take care of business 34-14, a very dominant win over the Indianapolis Colts. The Bengals are now back above 500 with their second straight victory, 7-6 on the season. They snap Indianapolis's four-game winning streak. And what does it mean, bottom line? Well, the Bengals are back in playoff position, though that is fleeting week to week, as we have learned here in the NFL. But the Bengals have now caught the Indianapolis Colts. They hold the tiebreaker over the Colts, who are also 7-6. They also hold the tiebreaker over the Jacksonville Jaguars, as the Bengals, of course, beat them on Monday Night Football, and the Browns beat Jacksonville on Sunday afternoon as well. So the Bengals are at least moving up in the standings. But really, big picture, the important thing here on Sunday was how the Bengals responded to adversity behind their new team leader, Jake Browning. The Bengals had a 14-0 lead, in part thanks to the explosive play of rookie Chase Brown. He caught a screen pass behind the line of scrimmage and then raced 54 yards for his first career touchdown, eluding a would-be tackler at the 5-yard line. Really an impressive run. Then Joe Mixon had a touchdown run later in the second quarter, later in the first half, and that made it 14-0. But the Bengals, well, they made some mistakes. Trey Hendrickson, he committed a personal foul that, as Zach Taylor told us after the game, just can't happen. That led to a 17-play touchdown drive for the Colts. That was followed immediately and 25 seconds later by a pick six that Jake Browning threw off the hands of Tanner Hudson. And all of a sudden, it was 14-14 at halftime. But Jake Browning and company really regrouped after halftime, came out, opening drive of the second half, the first drive of the third quarter. The Bengals put together a very impressive march down the field, ending with a Browning to Tanner Hudson touchdown pass of 11 yards for Hudson's first career NFL touchdown. So two Bengals in this game recorded their first career touchdowns. That was impressive. And then the Bengals really pulled away from the Colts in the second half. There was only one bit of, not bad news, but really a scare, and that involved their quarterback again. And yes, the quarterback's right hand. This time, it was a hand cramp, a thumb cramp for Jake Browning. He had to leave with about 14 minutes left in the game. He had to get an IV back in the locker room, but he did return to the game. And after the game, it was Jake Browning acknowledging that it was a pretty dumb mistake. A dumb instance of getting dehydrated. Guys gave him a little bit of garbage on the sideline and a little bit of grief on the sideline for having that happen. Joe Burrow just looked at him and laughed, but no harm, no foul. I think Jake Browning has learned his lesson going forward. Speaking of Jake Browning, he had some visitors here inside Paycor Stadium, as his brother and sister were on hand, along with his girlfriend and a couple of friends from California. And how did they get their suite tickets? Because they didn't want to sit out in the cold? None other than Joe Burrow, who donated some tickets in the suite, in Burrow's suite, to Browning's friends and family so they could enjoy the game in comfort. Jake Browning making it be known after the game, no, I did not buy a suite in the preseason before the season began. It was Joe Burrow, nice enough, on Burrow's birthday no less, to donate the tickets. Also, on this day, we talked about Chase Brown scoring his first career NFL touchdown. His Pee-wee coaches from Canada were in attendance to watch him race down the right sideline and beat that would-be tackler at the 5-yard line. No doubt they were proud as well of the effort of the rookie out of Illinois. So really an interesting game for the Bengals, simply because they overcame some self-inflicted mistakes in the second quarter, regrouped, and came up with a very critical win, a win they will need going down the stretch. Of course, it'll be a short week. Now they play the Minnesota Vikings this Saturday at 1 o'clock inside Paycor Stadium, before taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh 2 days before Christmas. Things are looking up for right now for the Bengals. Even though they don't have Joe Burrow, they have a team that is running the ball with authority, and they also have a team that has a quarterback playing with a good deal of confidence. We have you covered on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and watch and click and give me your opinions, good, bad, and indifferent. YouTube.com/@JungleRoarPod. As always, follow me on Twitter @Trags, TRAGS, and online at CLNSCincy.com. The final again inside Paycor. It was the Bengals 34 and the Colts 14. Inside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.